What is up, everyone? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees, and in today's video, we're recapping the Yankees' 5-2 loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. Nestor Cortes had his spring training debut. It wasn't the best debut in the world for him, but we'll get started with the pitching side of the ball. But before we get started with pitching and offense and recapping anything of the sort, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you guys know when we're uploading. We've got you guys with frequent New York sports content with the Yankees. We've got you guys with post-game recaps just like this one, daily podcasts, live streams, highlights. We've got you guys now with prospect reports that we're doing weekly. We've got everything you guys could possibly need. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. And Nestor Cortes, again, it was his debut today. The command wasn't sharp, which is what you expect. Typically velocity comes back actually before command does. It's really hard to find your command. It's really hard to do something like that. It's a feel thing, right? Command is very much based on feel. Command is something that, pitchers, it's fleeting, right? So to see Cortes struggle with his command isn't something that's shocking. He was working a lot of cutters. He walked 3 batters. He gave up 2 home runs. The velocity was there. The movement was there. Everything was in line with what Nestor Cortes usually is. The only difference is he wasn't getting as much carry on his 4-seam fastball. Is that something that I'm concerned about? No. Is it something that you get, I'm going to track for spring training? Absolutely. You'd love to see that improve, but his fastball really wasn't the issue today. So it was still really good despite that decreased writing action. Coming in after Nestor Cortes was Michael King, who, he had a scoreless outing on the stat sheet, but he did give up 2 hits that allowed more runners to score. He inherited some of Cortez's runners and allowed them to score. 2 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. The velocity is still down for him, but he reached 97 on his fastball for the first time this spring. He's seeming to get to higher velocity ceilings, which is important. He's still getting swings and misses. I think he's having a really productive spring training. Quite frankly, I'm not really concerned at all about what's going on with Michael King. I think even if at reduced velocity, Michael King is a really effective reliever. His movement, his stuff, it's all elite. So far this spring, he's tossed 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. He's looked really good. No runs given up. I'm really impressed by what we've gotten from Michael King, especially since he's coming back from an elbow fracture injury, and he's throwing multiple innings. He's facing a bunch of batters, and it's really valuable for the Yankees. They need him to be able to throw multiple innings this year. That's the thing he does very well. Jonathan Loaisiga came in, and Jonathan Loaisiga has looked really good this spring. He tossed a scoreless outing, 8 pitches, 1 strikeout. One thing I really like is the increased, sink on his fastball. Last year, he kind of sacrificed sink for run. I don't think that was good for his pitch arsenal. That hard sinker that drops, it's a nasty pitch. We got to see even a couple of 4-seam fastballs from him, or excuse me, just 1 4-seam fastball from him. I think he's incorporating all his pitches well. Again, it's a small sample size of pitches today because he only needed 8 to get through his inning. But man, he looks really impressive, and I'm really excited about that. Clay Holmes, he came in, he was equally as impressive. It took him just 9 pitches to get out of his inning. 1 strikeout, no walks, no hits, no runs. Same stat line as Loaisiga, except it just took him 1 more pitch to get there. His velocity looks good. Pitch movement looks good. Everything looks good. He's going out there. He's using his gyro slider, which is more of a cutting type of slider. It doesn't prioritize sweep as much as it does a hard dropping action and high velocity. And he's also got that sweeper in his back pocket. But of course, his bread and butter, that hard sinker that just, it eats up right-handed batters. And it just dives down and away to lefties. It's a nasty pitch. He's a nasty pitcher. You'll love to see it. Ian Hamilton came in and, he walked a batter, hit a batter, gave up a hit, but he got out of it. He looked... he struggled with his command. He didn't look excellent per se, but he's kept his immaculate spring training going. He has yet to allow a run. I think that the Yankees are going to keep him around, definitely. I think he's someone the Yankees value as depth in the lower levels of the minors, or higher levels of the minors, excuse me. I believe he's 26, 27 years old, so he's not too old. Someone the Yankees definitely are going to be looking at, maybe potentially giving them reps with the Major League team at some point in the 2023 season if they need it. But that kind of wraps up the pitching side of the ball. It really just was Nestor and King struggling today. Everyone else looked incredible. So, take that with what you will. Cortes is already up to 52 pitches in his first outing, which tells us some pretty good news about him. What we heard from Brian Hoke was that it's likely that he could go out there and, be the 4th starter, even though it was lined up for him to be the 5th starter, because he could be built up for 80 to 90 pitches by that time, which is really, really good to hear. That brings a lot of confidence as to where Nestor's health is at right now. But let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. The Yankees only had 6 hits. They only scored 2 runs, but there were still some key performances. Volpe went 1 for 3 with a walk. He had a 106.8 mile an hour single. That's, I think, his StatCast best for any batted ball this spring. We had Aaron Judge had a rocket double. Giancarlo Stanton had 2 hits today, one of them a double, the other an RBI single. He's continued to rocket the baseball. He has looked really good as of late. We got to see Willie Calhoun absolutely scorch a double that would have gone out at Yankee Stadium, or quite frankly, I think almost any other ballpark with a shorter right field fence in terms of height. And that was really the offensive component for the Yankees. The Yankees really didn't do much. There wasn't anyone who had an incredible game at the plate. A lot of their hits were kind of just spread out between all the guys. They didn't put up a crazy amount of runs. They didn't put up a crazy amount of hits. They walked a few times, but it was kind of a quiet day for the New York Yankees at the plate. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for checking us out. You guys have been great with the support lately. That'll do it for our recap today for the New York Yankees loss to the Blue Jays. Again, spring training, not really too moved by it. But again, with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. We're also on YouTube, obviously. Or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star rating. We're there as well. We've got you guys with all your Yankees content in whatever form you guys want to choose to digest it. We've got shorter form content, we've got longer form content, whatever you guys need. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'm Ryan Garcia, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.